Nobody in the chat so far. Get it up on YouTube. I got 2 thumbs up. I don't know who off, but I got 2 thumbs up and 2 thumbs up, no thumbs down. So I know. Whoever gave me the thumbs up must have gave me a thumbs up and then went again, and they're still there and not talking. Right. We'll send a link to Chelsea. Who else? Caroline. I won't bother sending one to Jarrell because he's not even online. There's also an invite link in the chat as well. Chelsea. Hey, Chels.
Hi.
Long time no see.
Yeah.
But then I have not done these properly in a while, though, have I?
No.
So, I do want to get back into doing this on a regular basis, but it's a bit difficult though sometimes.
Yeah, I think obviously also with like your sisters, because aren't they back at school now or something? So I guess obviously when it's weekends, it's probably a bit harder.
Yeah, but it's not so much that though, right? It's the fact that like I don't get many people coming into the chat,
Yeah.
so it's like when I've got people like you on and other people as well, I guess like it's fine then, because then I got people to talk to.
Yeah, like
Well,
you're not by yourself. I guess when you're doing like lives and not many people are watching, it's kind of, is there any point really?
I know it's like it kind of feels like I'm doing sort of like a vlog then.
Yeah, which you could basically have just filmed a video rather than do a live, but
Yeah. Yep. But yeah, I'm hoping to sort of get my stuff back on track soon,
yeah.
with a bit of luck. Where are you? The room looks different.
Yeah, I'm at my stepdad's, so I'm in my own bedroom, but preferably I don't have a light bulb, so I'm having to make shift with a lamp that bends.
That's a point. Yeah, you've moved house, haven't you, since we've been on a live and out together?
Yeah, which is weird, and obviously I don't. It's kind of weird because I don't have a normal light, so I'm literally using a lamp.
Oh,
It's fun. I don't even have a light bulb. I'm literally I've got a makeshift lamp that bends, so I just bent it towards me because otherwise it's dark as hell.
yeah. I've got like a desk lamp.
That one was basically stolen from a student accommodation. Someone left it, didn't want it, and my mum decided to bring it home.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't really know why, because it basically is color changing, so you can have it like color changing or just normal. I was like, I'm just gonna keep it as what it is.
yeah. That's what that's what the light bulb for my room's like. It changes colors, and I've got like a remote for it.
Mm. I used to have one in my old room, but I never really I didn't have a remote when mine just came with that app. But I never really had it on a color. I normally just had it on white because it's like no.
Yeah, I'm the same. I tend to have mine on white all the time.
I don't really like the colors because like some certain colors like make my eyes go weird. I don't know why.
Yeah, the problem with me though is like it like the reason why I tend to keep it on white is because it's like the brightest color,
Yeah,
so it helps like when I'm like eating my food and stuff.
yeah.
Like sometimes I'll have it like fading into different colors and that, but very often I do tend to keep it on white.
Yeah, I just tended to always keep mine on white because I tried it on like different colors and it was just like, yeah, it really played with like my head and like gave me migraines. So I was like, okay, I'll just keep it on white. It's fine.
Yeah. Yeah, it's easier then, isn't it?
Yeah, I fucking hate this bedroom. Burning passion.
Yeah, I bet.
It's like Harry Potter's closet. It's so small and preferably I have no curtains or blinds, so
Oh, bloody hell.
pretty much you get woken up at like early hours when it's sunny outside because nothing to cover the sun. I'm like, yay.
Yeah, I know. I noticed as well, I've got 2 likes on the stream so far. Are you one of them and then the other one's from somebody else? Or...
I think I did them on both my accounts because I still have my other one from that I don't film on.
Yeah. You thought about doing any other videos or?
I've had a look like into different ones that I can kind of do, so that like I've just got ideas for when I do potentially go and buy a laptop. I think I'm going to wait until Black Friday and just see what the prices are for them because I feel like they'd probably be a bit more cheaper then.
Yeah.
Because I know it starts like I know it's not till like normally end of November, but I thought like most of the places will start early. But I thought at least laptops may drop down quite a bit in price at that point that I could maybe just buy one.
Yeah. But of course, like, you've got to like obviously because of the stuff you want to do with it, like you got to make sure it's a powerful laptop, though. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, that's what I'm like sort of worrying about because it's like all of the like really high spec laptops are like 1,000 at most, but I'm like, they ain't gonna drop down that much in the sale. But if I have to, I'll just pay for the price.
Yeah. It's like you've got to sort your jobbing out first, though, haven't you? Otherwise, you're going to be stuck.
Well, yeah, I'm still nowhere closer. Like most people kind of ask me, they're like, "Oh, do you regret leaving your job then because now you don't have one?" And I'm like, "Well, I don't regret leaving it because obviously I weren't happy, but what
I
could I
know.
have done?"
Plus, as well, it was affecting your mental health as well, wasn't it? So,
I know. I was
obviously, you
people, I was
couldn't
like,
stay there, could you?
I was like to people, I was like, it affected my mental health, and I was like,
Hmm.
I didn't want to stay somewhere I didn't want to be. Like, obviously, yeah, I said to people the only like really plus was like money side, but I was like, that doesn't, you shouldn't stay in a job just because of that.
Yeah, I know.
It's
Yeah,
just,
you shouldn't stay in a job you hate and that's affecting your mental health just for the money.
oh yeah, I know Liam wants to like. I know he's hating where he works and he wants to quit, but obviously he can't because he needs the money.
Yeah.
So he's just having to stick out working somewhere he hates.
Yeah, to be honest, like, that's what I thought you were. I thought you were at Liam's and it was just quiet there or something.
Nah, I come back on the weekends. Not that I really ever want to be here on the weekend.
Hmm.
The joys.
So you're at Liam's like in the week and then you go back to your
Yeah, I normally come
mum.
back on like a Friday, like just because like my mum always goes, "Oh, do you come back because he's at work?" And it's like, well, no, because you'd moan otherwise if I didn't come home. So I'm just kind of like, I just keep the peace and come home on a Friday.
Yeah. But I find that weird though, because like I don't get moaned at like when I'm staying over Nicholas. Like, do you get me?
Yeah, my mum's just weird. She moans at me for everything, or she tries to guilt trip me with a cat. I know.
Yeah.
I normally get videos of the cat during the week or whatever. Like, oh, look at him! Look how sad he is. I'm like, he's a cat. I'm like, that's his face.
I know, and plus the thing is like we've said before, like you can't stay with your mum and Gareth forever, can you?
Well, no, and preferably I wouldn't really want to because,
Yeah.
yeah, my brother does, but then that's just him in general.
Yeah, but then like, how does he not get pissed off though? Like with all the arguing and that.
He just sticks his headphones in. He barely listens to it, and if he does, he's just kind of he doesn't care because he's used to it.
Yeah.
So it's kind of most of the time he just sticks his headphones in and talks to random weirdos on the internet.
Yeah, it's easier then, though, isn't it? I suppose.
Oh yeah, he can just block it out. It's a bit hard when I kind of always get brought into the arguments, or it's always like shit's thrown at me because I'm never home. I'm like, oh thanks.
Yeah, I know that's not fair.
All I got yesterday was, oh, you're never here, like, and going, oh, like I dropped my pets when I got a boyfriend. I'm like, they're not my pets. I was like, Jasper's my mum's, and Eric is his, and he was like, oh, I gave him to you. I was like, you didn't give him to me.
Yeah, exactly.
I was like to him, I was like, I offered to take care of him during the week because he worked away at that point, so he was never home to look after him during the week. And then I was like to him, well, when you're home Friday for the Sunday, he's your responsibility, not mine.
Yeah.
Turned into now
Exactly.
he's mine. I'm like, okay. I
Exactly.
never asked.
Yeah. Exactly.
But apparently I get it thrown at me going, oh, apparently I did ask for him. I was like, when? I was like, give me a like freaking message where I said that I wanted him. Because I don't think there is one.
Precisely.
But they can't, so the choice.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, it's like whenever I go over Nicola's, like my mum's just like, yeah, that's fine, you know? Like
Yeah.
she don't moan at me if I say I'm coming home after 2 days and then I end up staying there for even longer.
Oh yeah,
So
because
my mum's like, yeah, that's fine, you know?
it's kind of like as long as she knows where you are, then
Yeah.
she's fine. Because obviously, if she didn't know where you were, I'm sure she'd probably be worried.
Yeah, then she knows though that Nicola looks after me anyway.
Yeah,
Do you get me?
yeah.
You know. she did say to her other half as well one time. She said that she would trust Nicola to take me absolutely anywhere. So
Mm.
I think that kind of says it all, really, doesn't it?
Yeah, it was like I got moaned out when I come back Friday because I didn't come back last week because I went to Liam's mum's because it was her birthday this week, but we celebrated it early
Yeah.
because like his nan basically set up a birthday party that I don't think she really wanted to start off with because it was just a load of hassle.
Yeah.
But there was like 19 of us that went, so it was like family and friends. So obviously I had to meet the majority of the family, which was nerve-wracking as hell.
Oh, I know, especially when you don't know like how they're gonna be towards you as
Well, I
well.
didn't know how they were going to be towards me, and also it was like 19 people, so I was like, yeah, that's quite a lot in quite a short space of time.
Yeah.
So it's like fun, but apparently Liam's mum was like, oh, they all liked you, it was fine. She's like, I would have needed a lot of alcohol to meet a lot of people, but she's like, you did it without, so well done you. It's like, thanks. I was like to her, I felt like I was more a like sheep herder, but for a fucking dog, because she's got 2 dogs. One is a guard dog, so she barks at literally anything. It could be a leaf, and she will bark.
Oh God.
So, because there was like 2 small children, obviously Dita's not the best when it comes to people, or if something scares her, she jumps. So she nearly mowed over one child unintentionally. Douglas is just a food horse, so pretty much if you have food, she is your friend. And she just kept trying to go for people, and I'm like, Douglas, let them eat their food.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm there trying to herd them away from the kitchen because they've got like baby gates on basically the kitchen door so that the dogs don't walk in, because the dogs know they're not allowed in the kitchen and they will try. Douglas ate an entire loaf of bread and a chicken. Liam's mum was not impressed, obviously.
Bloody hell.
And it wasn't normal bread as well. It was like chili bread. So that combined with a dog, yeah, it didn't really go very well.
Oh, why the dog had the shits afterwards?
Yeah. She was really bad, and I was just like, yeah, this is why people get told to close the kitchen gate so that the dog doesn't get in.
Yeah, you can get not far from where Nicola lives, you can get something called jalapeno bread.
Yeah.
I was gonna get some when I was over there once, but then they didn't have any. So when I had my pot noodle for my lunch, I just had to have regular bread instead of the jalapeno bread that I was after. But
Yeah.
Can't have everything, can you?
Yeah, the dog did not enjoy the bread. Like, why did she decide to eat an entire loaf? And Liam's mum's just like, I don't know, it was there. She thought she could. I was like there being like through the sort of like, because we had like a barbecue like on the Saturday, because they were just like, oh, it'd be nice.
Yeah.
And obviously Douglas is there trying to wow everyone because they've got food. And I'm like to her, I'd finished my food, and I'm like to her, oh, do you want me to take the dogs for a walk around the freaking like around one of the fields, because at least then they're away from people. I'm like, that's if Douglas even comes, because she can't run. She's got 2 bad legs, and to be fair, she will only run probably like a few times, and then she gets bored and wants to go back inside. Dieter, on the other hand, can run for fucking ages and doesn't get tired. Douglas is just, nah, I'm done now. But I was like to her, I just walking in the field. I was like, Dieter's there having fun running around. Douglas is just looking like, I want to go back with the people with the food. And I'm like, no, let them eat their food. But I'm like, they're trying to freaking herd her. I'm like, the amount of time that people are like, they wanted to go in the kitchen. I'm like, Douglas. I'm like, they're just holding Douglas. Like, no. And I'm just like, yeah, I'm just holding her so she don't run. And they're just like, you're doing really well at that. I'm like, yeah, really. I'm like, they're freaking holding her. Like, just move it. Just like, sit still. Because every time one would come out, she just kept trying to go for him. She's like, "You're my friend now." I was like, "No, they're not. I don't just want to eat their food in peace without you."
I know it's a bloody pain in the ass, that though, isn't it?
Oh no, like she did it at Christmas, and like Liam's mum was like going, "Oh yeah, she'll be your best friend when you've got food." She's like, she'll sit next to you and just like look all sad with her sad little face and look like she ain't got fed. They get fed like sort of like their bowls are separated because Douglas tends to try and eat Dito's food.
Yeah.
So their bowls are like quite far apart in the hallway, so that generally they know that's my bowl. That's Douglas finished her food and then tried to go for Dito's food, and I'm like, "That's not your bowl. You just had your food." So food. I was like to Douglas, I was like, "You've had more food today than any of us." I was like, "You had a loaf of bread and a freaking chicken, and then food yourself."
Mm.
And then I was like, "Oh, it's even worse." I was like, "They've got Dave, and Dave, actual chickens." I was like, "What next? Is she going to go and try and maul a chicken?"
Probably, innit?
Oh no. Liam's mum's like, "Oh, she does sometimes sit there and watch them." I'm like, "They're all called Dave, but they're all girls. But they're all called Dave."
Okay, that's really weird.
Oh no, they had chickens before that were literally named after curries. So you had Vindaloo, chicken tikka masala.
Oh my god.
I was like, you went from naming your chickens after curries to naming them all Dave.
Oh god.
I was like,
Okay, so what other curry names did they come up with?
it was literally just chicken curry, Vindaloo, and some random other hot one. And I was just like, what? Why are they all named after why were they all named after curries? And they're like, we just thought, why not? They're chickens.
Oh god.
I was like, they got sheep, and I'm like, one's called Frank for the freezer. He's gonna get killed soon. I don't know if he knows. I feel bad for Franks, to be fair.
Oh bloody hell.
He's gonna end up in the freezer because she was like, if we don't kill him, he's gonna get killed by one of his siblings because it's what they do. I'm like, it's not graphic at all. Like poor sheep.
Oh, I know.
I'm just like, they were in the same field as the horses as well, and I was like to Liam's mum, I was like, should they be in the same field? She's like, yeah, they're fine.
Oh god.
I was like, fair enough. Normally you can't put animals with other animals because they don't get on. But I was like, the horses are all scared of one horse anyway. So. Oh no, she's got 3 horses and one of them is scared of the other one. I don't know why. I'm just like, as you do.
Yeah, like that's proper weird. A horse being scared of another horse.
Yeah, she's got Queenie, Barkley, and Chip. Barkley is scared of Queenie for whatever reason. I don't know why. Will not. If Queenie comes towards you, Barkley will not come to you if you call him. He's just like, no, I'm not going there.
Oh bloody hell!
And I'm just like there. I'm like, yeah, but Barkley's like made out that he's dead quite a few times. He's just gone, yeah, no, I'm gone. And Liam's mum freaked out because he literally just looked like he was freaking dead, but he wasn't. He was fine after an hour. He's just like, yeah, I'm fine now. She's like, you dick. She's like, I got a vet out and I had to pay a vet to come see you and give you antibiotics, and now you're fine.
Oh god.
She's like, really? And she's like, it's not as if it's cheap.
Oh, I know.
They're freaking like their little like shoes that they have is about like 200 odd quid for each shoe. I'm like, at least 2 of them don't have any because she took them off.
Oh bloody hell!
They hated them, to be fair, so it was like they wouldn't walk in it. So I'm just like, fair enough.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, like Barkley and Chip didn't like the like hooves on their feet because like when they walk on certain like materials they didn't like it, so she just got them removed because she was like, well, they don't really need it, they can be without them. And she's like, I'm not paying to get them put back on because she's like, it's expensive. She's like, nah, don't have the time.
So what are you doing the stream on now then? If you haven't got, are you on your laptop or your phone or?
Doing it on my iPad.
I do it on your iPad. You. I
Yeah.
was gonna say, yeah, the quality's good. I
Yeah,
did wonder, like, I wasn't sure if it was your laptop or if you were doing it on your phone, but the quality is rather good, like, as in the camera quality and
yeah.
sound quality, and that's why I thought you was on your laptop.
No, I tried to look at my laptop earlier, but it's like it still goes really slow. So I'm like, shove it back underneath the bed for now.
Yeah, but it's pretty. How old did you say the laptop was?
I've had that one for probably like 5, 6 years now, so I guess it's lived its life. To be fair.
Yeah, that's probably why then, because I think as processors and the RAM and I gets older, I think it just gets. I think the components just get more kind of unreliable and they just don't function as good.
Yeah, I had that one for ages anyway, but I'm like, it did the job. To be fair, I didn't pay for it, so it's like it could have been worse. If I
Yeah,
paid, I probably would have been a bit more pissed off, but I didn't. So I could have paid for a bit of a laptop, but I didn't want to. It was an Apple. It's like, I don't want a MacBook.
yeah, that's fair enough. To be fair as well, Apple they can be a bit complicated.
Yeah, because they were like, I could either have like that one, which was like the HP one, or they were like, I could pay £200 and then they would pay the remaining amount for the laptop, and I could get like a MacBook. And I was like, I don't really want a MacBook. I was like, I have an iPad. Why do I need a MacBook?
Yeah, I know.
At that point, I was just like, nah. And I was like, I'd rather a Windows laptop.
Yeah, plus to be honest, like I find Windows as well easier to use.
Yeah, I used like Apple MacBooks in like college because they had ones in like one IT lab, but I didn't really like them. I was just like, yeah, nah, not for me.
Yeah, we had when I was in Derry, we had Macs in school, and one afternoon the teacher she wanted us to have a bit of practice using iMovie.
Oh yeah, I used iMovie quite a bit. That's what I used to edit my YouTube videos with.
Yeah, but like if you used iMovie, like what did you use iMovie on, or did you have like an iPhone at the time? Or
I had an iPhone and then I used my iPad for editing quite a few videos on as well.
yeah, I've used iMovie a couple of times, like on my phone and that, but I don't use it anymore. Like now I've got my gaming PC. I don't use my phone for editing as much.
Yeah.
In fact, to be honest, I can't even remember last time I even used my phone for doing video editing. I think last time I used my phone for video editing was to do like a little update video.
Yeah.
Because I think what it was, I was planning on getting a video out on a certain day, but I was trying to edit it and render it and stuff. But then I think what had happened was the video editor I was using, I think it crashed on me for some reason. So I put out like a vlog basically explaining that the video I was planning on putting up at that time was going to have to be put on hold until the next day or whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's why I don't tend to like have a schedule as much anymore, and I tend to just put videos up whenever I want.
Yeah, I felt like there's some people that I watch that do have like sort of uploading schedules, and some of them do stick to it, but there are quite a few that like they say they upload on a certain day and then they don't, and then nobody ever like they don't sort of like let their viewers know that their video is going to be late or that it's out on a different day.
I know that's the problem I had with having a schedule. Was it was a bit of a nightmare, especially back last year when I got. I think it was last year. Yeah, back last year in February when I got sick and I had to stay in bed for a week. Because my plan was for that year was to do 3 videos a day plus a live. So I would do a video at, I don't know, I think it was like, say that it might have been 2 videos a day in a live. I can't really remember. But like the Friday, I think it might have been the Friday after I met Nicola for the first time, actually. Yeah, because I met Nicola the week before I got ill, and then I got ill, and then I couldn't go out anywhere. So basically, the night before I got ill, I'd scheduled my videos for that day, because that is what I used to do. Is I'd schedule my videos for the next day, but I'd do it like the night before,
Yeah.
and then there was like a few days then where I couldn't do anything. Like I couldn't post anything, obviously, because I was stuck in bed with a bit of a sick bug.
Yeah.
So then I spent a fair bit of time then in bed just chilling out. I think I had the community tab, I think, at this point, but the thing is, I was too ill to even type up anything, and I just wanted to just relax.
Yeah.
So because I just wanted to just chill out and just focus on getting better, I didn't even put anything in the community tab either to let people know what was going on. So then, I got better, and I was able to sit in front of my computer then and start doing my stuff again. But yeah, that week I spent in bed was not fun.
No.
At all. Well, I say week, it was roughly about a week, I think.
Yeah. I used to have like an uploading schedule, but I got to a point where I like couldn't actually like commit to it.
I know, I've been the same. Like I've tried to have an upload schedule, but then in order for me to do that, what I found was I was uploading the same, like I was downloading and uploading the same videos that I posted like 2, 3, 4 years ago, just to stick to a schedule, and I don't want to do that.
Yeah, like my upload schedule was like a Monday and like a Thursday, but the only thing that I had was I didn't finish college at that point until like 5 on a Thursday. So by the time I got home, it was like 6:30, 7, and then I had to eat, and then I was either like having to film a video or edit a video and then upload it, which by the time I would either film something, edit it, it was like near enough 9, and I was like, do I really want to upload a video at 9 at night?
I know, I've felt the same.
So I kind of like, I got to a point where like I tried to sort of maybe film like when I had days off college so that I could stick to my schedule, and then I just got to a point where I was just like, fuck it, I'll just upload when I feel like it, because I couldn't deal with the whole like, oh yeah, you've got to upload on this day and this day at this time, because I was like, well, I'm not home at those times.
Yeah, but to be honest with you, if I was going to have like a schedule thing again, I think what I have to do is upload months and months worth of videos like in advance, and then release a couple of, like a day or whatever. But I'd have to wait until I had like at least a few hundred videos, so at least then if I get ill or whatever, or if something comes up meaning that I can't film, I've then got like a schedule that I can stick to and not have to worry about filming for a while.
Yeah.
But it's like, do you get me? It can be a bit difficult.
Yeah.
But I guess that's why I haven't filmed anything in a while, is because I've been doing other things. Like I've been over Nicola's and that, haven't I? And
Yeah.
I've been sort of doing my own thing. Like when I first went into Spawn Point for the first time, I was going to do a vlog of that, but I didn't want to just turn up with my action camera stuck to my chest, filming just random people.
Yeah.
Because what I got to remember is that it's a shop, isn't it? Even though I'm friends with the people who work in the shop.
Yeah, it's still like, obviously if you're filming like other people and stuff, like they may not want to sort of be filmed or whatever.
I know. Like I know Greg and Hannah most likely wouldn't mind, but I've just got to think of other people.
Yeah, like that's what I found with like certain sort of like when I had a schedule, because sometimes I was at people's houses, or like I didn't want to film a video around people because then it was like, well, do they want to be in it? I didn't want to force people to be in them either.
Yeah.
And
I know I've felt the same way as well sometimes. But it's like, there have been times like where I've done filming and then I've like offered to like blur people out and that.
yeah, like I did do a video like ages ago with someone like that I like met through YouTube, but like we never fully met like in person. We just met like sort of on video chat and whatever, and we did film something, and then obviously like they decided like they changed their mind and didn't want the video uploaded.
Mm.
And I was kind of like, oh well, like I can either like blur you out or like sort of put, I don't know, something over it so that people couldn't see their face, but like sort of I said I could sort of change their voice so it didn't sound like them.
Yeah.
If it was easier for them, so that, you know, their sort of identity wasn't shared in any way, shape or form.
Yeah, that's what they do with a lot of like police programs, isn't it? They can make the voice of the person go.
Yeah, like I've seen quite a few where like it's sort of like just a silhouette of a person, but you can't actually physically see them because they just obviously, I guess, either for protection, they just don't want people to know who they are.
Yeah. And I suppose it's easier for them as well, isn't it?
Oh yeah, I guess sometimes like you don't really know what like sort of that person's background is as to why they want to hide it. I've seen quite a few people do it. I did have to do it for quite a few videos I filmed. I did kind of have to like either blur people out or just kind of change their voice because they just didn't want to be known in case like anyone said anything.
Yeah.
I had to blur quite a few of my like really old videos I used to film in high school because I would normally film like in my school uniform, and I realized a couple of times while editing videos that you could literally full on see the logo, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna have to blur that before I upload it because otherwise people are gonna know where I go to school.
Oh, I know.
And I was like, yeah, don't really want people, either people at my school knowing. It wasn't like people found out eventually, but it was also I didn't really want weirdos to just randomly turn up outside my school because it was like one part of our school was like the gates were always open, so people could literally just walk in off the street.
Oh God.
They never really locked them, so it was like if you wanted to ditch a lesson, you could literally walk through that gate and just be like, yeah, bye. There was only one gate that they ever actually locked, so I was like, yeah, nah, I don't really want weirdos turning up at my school looking for me.
Oh, I know. Imagine that.
Oh no, I did actually have like a weird encounter at, like it was when I was in Cardiff Vale, because I still filmed some videos at that point, and like people had like asked at reception like if somebody that looks like this goes here or not, and it literally just had to be like, if anyone asks, just don't say nothing.
Oh, I know.
Because it was a bit daunting, and I was like, yeah, no.
Bloody hell. Yeah, I bet it's annoying that though, isn't it?
Yeah, I feel like sometimes it can be worrying for people as well, because like obviously if you've got a reason for not wanting people to know, like, you know, where you are or whatever, whether like I've always said to people, like, I don't sort of, to some people I say to people, oh, if they know like certain family members of mine that I don't want them to know anything and they do ask them, like, just don't say anything.
Yeah.
I've said it to mainly my uncle because one of my cousins went, I think he's still in that school, but he like goes to the same school as one of my dad's like brother's kids, and because they know my uncle, there's been quite a few times where like he's picked up my cousin from school and then they've asked him like, oh, how am I and whatever, and I'm like to him, I don't want them to know anything, like, because they're only going to go back and tell my biological dad anyway, which he doesn't deserve to know nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm like, he made his choice. Like, I gave him a chance at like the age of like 16, 17. And he chose to block me twice on Facebook. So I was like, well, I gave you a chance.
Hang on, I'm a little bit confused. Like, how did he block you twice? Like, is he on multiple accounts? Or
He did used to have multiple accounts, but he blocked me twice on the same account. So he blocked me in 2011, which was when I originally stopped like seeing him, because he got back with someone he was with her oldest child, who was like, she was like 3-4 years older than me. She basically sent me like quite abusive messages on Facebook, and I didn't tell anyone. I didn't like go and actually say anything to my mum or whatever. I tried to hide it because I just didn't really want to say anything.
yeah,
Obviously she's seen the messages, and I went to my nan's for like the summer because we would go and see her in the summer holidays. And then he had her back on Facebook as a friend, and I was like, well, you've literally not that long just split up with her. Like, you can't be friends that quickly.
yeah, exactly.
So I sent him a message and was like, well, if you're back dating her, I don't want to come see you. I don't want nothing to do with you. Like, I'm not going to go and play Happy Families at someone's house that I don't want to be with.
Yeah, exactly.
He denied it for over like literally like an hour and a half, and then he goes, okay, fine, we're back together. So he blocked me, and then he'd unblocked me at like some point, and then I messaged him like about, I think it was like 2016, 2017. I decided randomly just to sort of reach out, and kind of was just like, I'll happily forget everything that happened if you want to try and rebuild a relationship, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And he read the message and blocked me.
Oh, kind of says it all then, doesn't it? It kind of says that he doesn't really give a shit, you know?
I was like, well, I tried. Nobody can sit there and go, I didn't, but I know what he's like. He would have claimed to everyone that, my mum stopped him seeing us, all blah, 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 and everything under the sun. But I was like, well, what to do? I was like, I tried.
Yeah, exactly. It's the only thing you can do, though, isn't it? Is try.
Well, it's like I tried. I was like, I didn't really want one, but I was like, well, may as well see what happens. So,
yeah.
And then loads of his family members tried to make me feel guilty and whatever for the fact I didn't, I don't see him and whatever. And I was like, well, that's his choice.
Yeah.
One of them tried to make me feel bad because they were like, oh, he's waiting to see a specialist at the hospital for his heart. I was like, I care. I was like, fucker smokes. I was like, what do you want from me?
Why? He's got all heart problems, is he? And he smokes and that.
Like, when he was born with like one kidney bigger than the other, which is what my brother also had as a kid. It doesn't affect anything, but they were just like, it's something that happens. But he'd always had like issues, like health-wise, through his life, and because he smokes probably way more than anyone should.
Oh.
I don't know if he had like chest pains or whatever, but obviously he went to the doctor, like hospital, about it, and then obviously had to go and see a heart specialist, and his sister decided to go, oh yeah, he was waiting to be seen by someone. I'm just like, why do I care? I'm like, you didn't care when anything happened to me.
Precisely.
I was like, what am I supposed to do? I'm like, his mum sent me a birthday card when I turned 18. She'd never given me a birthday card since I was a baby. And in my card was like literally like a paragraph message about my uncle that she would take care of because he has Down syndrome, so she became his carer.
Right.
And she basically literally in my card is literally just giving me a sub story about him, being like, oh, he's forgotten, like he's forgetting like his name, he's forgetting like where he lives and stuff like that. And I'm like, he's got Down syndrome, he's not got dementia. I'm like, he's got Down syndrome, not dementia. I was like, they're two completely different things. And I was like, he has always been quite hard to deal with anyway because of his Down syndrome, because he has the brain of, they said he basically has the brain of like a 7 or 8 year old. And obviously he was like quite old at this
Do you
point.
think there's a possibility that he might have dementia and they just don't know about it, or?
I don't really know. I was just kind of like, I don't ever really seen him like, I'd only ever seen him when I was like 2, so I'm like, I barely remember him. I was like, I've seen a photo, but I was like, to be fair, I was just like, it's just a bit weird that like she hadn't sent me anything in years, and it just sends me a sub story about that, and then she signed my card with Nanny Bridget, and I was like, you're not my nan. I'm like, I don't even know. She sent a birthday card to my brother as well, and even my brother was like, my brother opens the card, looks at the bottom, and he's like, who the fuck is Bridget? You didn't even fucking know, and she looked after him when I was being born. So I was like, if you don't fucking know, I was like, what the fuck does that say? I was like, she's barely been in my life.
Oh no.
I was like, I barely heard of it. And she sent my mum a card as well, which was even worse because I read what she wrote in my mum's card, and I'm like, there you go. And I'm like, you're sticking up for someone who's literally toxic as hell, because she was like apologizing to my mum for like the years of like abuse and shit she had to like go through with my biological father, because he has anger issues that was never resolved. He moved out when he was 13.
Did he?
Yeah, he left home when he was 13. He moved in with basically a friend from school and lived with a friend from school until like, I think he was like 18, 19, and then obviously moved out. But his mum abandoned them when like his sister was about, I think she was like 3 or 4 when her mum decided to up and leave, and then it was his dad that basically raised them. He didn't like him, so he left. And yeah, never really been the same since. But his sister decided to say to me while he was meant to be waiting to see a specialist, he turned up at his mum's door, who he hasn't seen in about like 10 years at that point, asking for money. I was like, oh yeah, it would be, wouldn't it? I was like, fucker has no money, he wastes it.
No.
Oh, he bought a £60 swimming pool for a girlfriend he'd literally been with like not even a month.
Bloody hell.
I asked him for a £20 pair of shoes. They were only £20. They were like Heelys.
Let me guess, he said no.
He was like to me, he was like, oh, I'll get them you when I next get paid from work. So I didn't badger him for them. I was like, okay, fine. I'll just wait. And then he buys his girlfriend kids, who he's not even their dad or even their stepdad. He bought them a £60 swimming pool. I was like, oh, no, it's fine. Don't worry about me. I literally asked you for one thing in my life and I got told no.
Bloody charming that though, isn't it?
Oh no, on my 12th birthday was even worse. He didn't want me for my 12th birthday. And then he moaned because he was like to me, he didn't buy me a birthday present, and his girlfriend was like, oh, what are you going to buy her for her birthday? And he looked at me like, what do you want? He's like, he was like, I'm only going to give you this amount of money. This is all you have to work with. I was like, can't really get. I was like, I wanted a hamster. So he's like, if I buy you a hamster and a hamster cage and whatever else, that's all you're having. He's like, don't ask for anything else. I was like, okay, sorry. So I got a hamster.
Oh.
Yeah, I got a hamster for my 12th birthday. Not that he wanted to buy me the hamster, but you know, it kind of. It's like fun. It's like yippee. It's like Christmas all over again.
Oh God, tell me about it. It's just.
Oh no, he spent he literally spent I woke up one year on Christmas and like he was at my house because he was homeless, let's just say. He moved in with a girlfriend, she kicked him out, he had nowhere else to go. My mum felt sorry for him and decided to let him sleep on our sofa. I would have let the fucker sleep in a box, but you know. Each is to their own. So he's at mine. He spends about half of Christmas with me, buys me gifts that I didn't even want. He bought me a Justin Bieber book. Literally Justin Bieber's autobiography.
Like, why the fuck would you want a Justin Bieber book?
I don't know. I literally had Justin Bieber's autobiography, Justin Bieber's album, and something else of Justin Bieber, and I just looked and was like, I'm just like that. I'm like, I can't go. This is shit. But I'm like, thank you. He left halfway through Christmas and went to his girlfriend's, whose who was nasty to me, and went to her house. So I was like, oh no, that's... don't even spend Christmas with your own family. It's fine.
I know, bloody charm that, but I mean, why the fuck did he get you fucking Justin Bieber shit? I mean, really?
Because that's what he thought I liked, and preferably, if anyone asked him what my favorite color is, he goes pink, and I look like, when the fuck has pink ever been my favorite color? But apparently, everyone thinks it is.
And you were how old at this time? Sorry,
I was 13 at that point, and I got Justin Bieber.
13. Oh god.
I was like, fine.
Like, where did you get the indication from that you like Justin Bieber? That's the bit I don't understand.
Because most other girls liked Justin Bieber at that point, so apparently I was put in with the box of weirdos who liked Justin Bieber. I was like, nah. I liked him for all of about, I think, a week, and then I just was like, yeah, nah.
Yeah, so you liked him, but then you went off him.
I liked him for literally a week, and like at that point, like this was like, that was when I was like 12. I didn't like him when I was 13. I was just like, so I don't know why I got an autobiography book. I was like, okay, what am I going to do with this? Burn it? Just burn Bieber's face.
So what did you do with it all? Did you end up selling it, or?
I ended up donating it in the end. I was just like, I literally never fucking opened it and never read it. I was just like, I don't really like this. What am I going to do with it?
Because to be honest, like, I think that's what I would have done. I would have just sold it.
Yeah.
You know, try and get some money for it all, like.
Oh yeah, it's like, I feel like sometimes like some family members ask me what I want normally for Christmas, just so that they don't buy me something I don't want.
Yeah, I'm like, I never know what I want for Christmas, like ever.
I always like my family. I normally just go like either just like socks or pajamas, because I'm just weird. I'm just like, it's something I'll use. I'd rather that than something random.
Yeah, I tend to get clothes and pajamas mostly. If I want something specific, it's mainly something for my computer. Like if I need like another hard drive or something to store things on, then I'll ask for a new hard drive.
Yeah.
But at the moment, I've still got hard drives in my old PCs that I've got to take out, so I won't have to ask for a hard drive now for a while. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I've always sort of like, when it comes to like Christmas or birthdays, like if there's something that I want, I normally tend to just try and save for it and just buy it myself. So I never really ask for it, because I'm like, well, I don't want someone else to buy it.
Yeah.
I'm just kind of like, well, I'll save up and buy it myself. It's just easier.
Yeah, it is easier, but sometimes, like when it comes to me getting computer things, like I do always tend to ask first, just so I know that it's actually going to work properly with my tower.
Yeah.
You know, it's like before I bought the SSD, you know, I spoke to those dad to see if it would be compatible, and he was like, yeah, any SSDs are compatible with computers nowadays.
Yeah.
So when I went over Nicola's, I had a little look on her Amazon, and I asked her to buy me one. Then I gave her the money then the next day or whatever, I think it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, the SSD I bought, it was like 30 something quid, I think. Yeah, it was about 40 quid, I think, in total, because it cost a bit to post as well.
Yeah.
So when you add it up, it comes to 40 quid, I think.
Oh yeah, you still haven't got that back.
Any other SSD I could find was either too expensive or anything cheaper. It was an external SSD, so it was one that you would plug in like an external hard drive and back your system on. It wasn't one to go inside a computer. And I wanted one to go in the computer, not one that you plug in via a USB port.
Yeah.
So I ended up getting myself a 1 terabyte SSD, even though a 500 gigabyte one would have done me fine. Because the only thing I'm gonna put on there is my Windows and my applications. But I haven't even put it in my computer yet because I don't want to put it in there myself, just in case I end up damaging something on the motherboard. Plus, as well, I don't know what slot it would go in.
Yeah.
Because there's slots on the motherboard that seem as if they would like be for the same thing. So because I don't know what slots were, I'm sort of waiting for some help.
Yeah.
So at the moment, I've got my hard drive plugged in. Obviously, I've got Windows on the hard drive, but eventually I'm going to put Windows on the SSD and then use the hard drive as an internal storage. And then when I do like my videos and stuff, then what I'll do is, if it like I'm a bit weird because like I tend to like when I'm doing videos with other people, like say if I'm doing a video with Taylor, I always copy a backup of that video, like an edited video, onto a storage drive. But when I'm doing a solo video, as in a video on my own, I don't tend to back it up. But I think the reason why I do it when I'm doing like collaborations and filming with other people is because it involves them as well. So I think it's because if I end up making a mistake and I haven't then got that video backed up, I've then got to ask that person if we can film the same video again, which wouldn't be fair on that person. So I think when I do collaborations with people, that's why I always tend to back up the original file before I start editing.
Yeah.
Whereas when it's just me, I've only got myself to blame for that then, which I don't mind filming the same video again. Or sometimes if I don't feel like doing it straight away, I'll put it off until like the next day or whatever, and I'll shoot like a different video for that day, and I'll film the other video then the next day, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Or whatever. It's just like once I've filmed something once, and if I make a mistake and I realize I've got to film it again, sometimes if I've been filming for quite a while, I don't feel like filming the same video again, because if it's like a half an hour shooting, then I'd have to spend another half an hour shooting it again, and I'm like, oh, I can't be bothered now, I'll shoot something else. And then I'd reshoot the video then the next day, like I use like Google Docs and stuff like that. I do, so it's all on my Google account basically.
Yeah.
And it's all on my Google Drive. I've got like a Google Docs document with all ideas written down, but I don't update it very much. I think that though is mainly to do with the fact that like I tend to like, because I film with other people nowadays, because that's what I find. I find that I'm filming with other people and doing collaborations, as it were, more than doing solo work. Because like I do enjoy doing solo work, but like I enjoy doing the collaborations even more because I just enjoy the company, I think.
Yeah.
And I think it's because like when I started doing stuff with Jarrell, like the live streams and the videos, and then I was doing the same thing with Abby, but I was doing more stuff with Abby than I was with Jarrell in terms of filming. I only film with Jarrell now and again, whereas I would film with Abby sometimes daily. So I think where I've gotten so used to having company when I'm doing videos, when I'm doing solo stuff, it just, I just don't tend to enjoy it as much.
Yeah.
Like I do enjoy it, but I do prefer doing collaboration work. But I think part of that though is because I've just gotten so used to having people on videos and things with me instead of doing stuff completely on my own.
Yeah.
You know, which it can be a bit difficult to adjust back to doing solo stuff when you've been doing collaborations for a long time. Because I mean, I've been doing collaborations now for over 4 years.
Yeah.
2019 was when I first started, because that was when I started doing stuff with Jarrell.
Mm.
And then I was doing stuff with Abby, and you know, it just went from there. Then in 2021, I started doing stuff with Taylor, and you know, so I think where I've been doing so much collaborational stuff, it's like when I do videos on my own, it can sometimes feel a bit lonely, I guess.
Yeah.
So, you know, I do think that's what it is. I think it's also the fact that I just feel a bit lonely when I'm doing solo work sometimes. Like sometimes like I don't mind it depending on what sort of video I'm doing. But it's like, do you get me? It's like
Yeah.
I do prefer doing collaborational work than solo work. Like if I'm doing a tutorial, then I don't mind doing it solo because it's easier then. Because then I can concentrate on what I'm doing and just go from there. You know? But yeah. Yeah, Fella, I've not spoken to Jarrell since about July time, I think.
Mm.
Last time I spoke to Jarrell, I think it was on Facebook. Because he doesn't come on Discord like he used to.
Mm.
And Carolyn, I still speak to her. I have done filming and stuff with Carolyn on Skype and I've done bits and pieces. But I haven't filmed anything with Carolyn in a while.
Yeah.
I've got to speak to Carolyn about that, see if she wants to do some more stuff. Because I do enjoy doing filming with her as well. You know?
Oh, my uncle is not impressed.
Why?
Someone broke into his van and basically took a lot of power tools and a lot of stuff. So,
Oh, God.
yeah.
Oh, bloody ass.
It's not even covered by his insurance either because he tried to ring the insurance company that obviously he has his van with and stuff. So, like, sometimes if certain things happen, they can cover the cost of, like, whatever has happened.
Yeah.
And they basically were like, yeah, we can't cover it. And it was parked outside my nan's, and they literally broke into 36 cars that night and stole quite a lot of stuff from multiple cars.
Bloody hell. It's not good then, is it?
No, and it's not the first time he's had his van broken into because it got broken into before outside my nan's, and then he learned that he had a padlock on the back of his van, so it's like it's not as if it's just a key. It's like you've got a freaking padlock on the back. They drilled through the padlock.
How the fuck do you drill through a padlock?
I don't know. They obviously had special tools but they literally drilled through a literal padlock because he learned before. Like he had quite a lot of like tools like stolen before, and obviously the insurance wouldn't cover it, and then obviously he had to pay for new equipment.
Hmm.
And then it's been broken into again. Like, great.
So it was like a vicious circle then.
Yeah, I don't like. the insurance company were like, basically it was like it was sort of like a professional gang kind of thing. They'd been doing it to quite a few different areas within the like coming weeks before this, but literally in one night they did like 36 cars. So they did quite a few on my nan's road because quite a few people have their cars parked outside their house. A lot of them are elderly, so fuck knows how much he's freaking got. But I mean, my uncle's stuff cost probably like collectively probably a good couple of grand.
And the fact as well that they're doing it to elderly people, I think that makes it worse.
Yeah, because there's a lot of people on my nan's road. Like obviously, a lot of them are elderly. A lot of them have cars that aren't. They're not really like fancy cars. They're literally like probably like really old cars. But they did quite a few cars, and they went around other roads doing other cars as well. And there's people that live sort of near my nan that do have quite fancy cars. So I don't think they were probably impressed either about the fact that, you know, none of their insurances are going to cover these damages.
Hmm.
And the police could do nothing because they were just kind of like, we don't know who they are. All we know is that we've had a load of reports over the coming weeks of them stealing stuff. I'm just like, great.
Oh, bloody hell.
Yeah, the police in my nan's area have never been the best. There was a group of like kids that they'd stolen drugs from somewhere and they decided to start throwing drugs into people's garden to try and like so that if they got caught they didn't have anything on them.
Bloody hell.
They knocked on my nan's door being like, oh yeah, can we just check your garden kind of thing? And she's like, yeah, it's fine. She's like, yeah, you can look through the front garden and like the back garden. She was like, it's fine. I was like, everyone in my nan's road is nosy as hell, so they're all like looking out the windows. So I'm like, they're going to you next. I don't know why you're looking outside. They'd be coming to you next. I'm like, everyone talks on my nan's road. If something happens, it's always like everyone's business. I'm like, oh yeah.
Bloody hell.
Yeah, they're all like, they need to know everything. Like, there was police at my nan's door before for something else. And like everyone in my nan's road's like, what did you do? And my nan's like, I hadn't done nothing. None of your business.
Precisely.
Stay in your lane. She's like, fuck off.
Hmm.
Hey, Jesus Lord.
Oh no.
I went there and one of my nan's neighbours was like, who are you? And I was like, who are you, a Karen? I was like visiting my nan. And she's like, who's your nan? I was like, literally the lady that lives fucking across the road from you. I was like, who else? I was like, who the fuck do you think lives there?
Hmm.
And she was like, oh, Lynn. I was like, yeah, Lynn.
And the fact as well they called you a Karen, I mean, really?
I know. I've had people call me worse, and I'm just like, there going, I'm like, what are you doing?
Oh no. How long has the Karen meme even been going around?
I don't even know. I don't even know how it started. I think someone just was like, you're a Karen. And then now, anytime anyone like moans about anything, you're just like, yeah, you're such a Karen.
I know.
What is when people's name are actually called Karen and then you're just like, yeah.
Is that where the meme actually came from? Like, did it come from like because somebody called Karen was having a moan?
Yeah. And then everyone's like, you're such a Karen. And then now everyone just says it for everything. But I'm like, it's kind of worse when there are actually people in public that are actually called Karen. And then you look, if they turn and look at you, you're just like, I didn't mean you.
Oh, I know. Yeah, but I think a lot of people know about the meme now, doesn't they? Because it's been going around now for such a long time.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. So yeah, hopefully now I'll be back to doing these now every night. I'm hoping. Well, I'll try and do it like when I can, because there's gonna be times where I'm gonna be over Nicola's. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So obviously I won't be doing my lives then.
Yeah.
Like, I have got a laptop, but it's old and it's all coming apart, and like the screen is literally hanging off it. It's a pile of shit now, really. The keys for the keyboard of the laptop have all been broken off,
Hello, Nicola.
so I'd have to use an on-screen keyboard.
Hi.
Hey, babe, all right?
Hi.
So basically, I'd have to use like an on-screen keyboard, but it's only got 2 gig of RAM now as well. So it's kind of rubbish for doing video editing on.
Yeah.
It's not the best anyway.
Mm.
It's weird because Restream is showing me that there's nobody watching, but Nicola's in the chat, so Nicola's obviously watching.
Mm.
Yeah, I can put the comments up on the screen as well.
Hey.
But the really, like, you can only put one chat at a time though.
Yeah.
So obviously, like, I wouldn't normally put that up because it's the URL for the stream, but
Yeah.
yeah, I always tend to put the links to the stream in the chats, and if anyone wants to come in, then
Yeah, then they can.
they can. But if it's somebody who I don't know, I'd say to add me on. I'd say to them, like, add me on Discord or Skype or something. Because I'd
Yeah.
rather, if it's somebody who I don't know, then I'd rather get to know them first,
Yeah.
not just have random people on my streams. Because of course you don't know what their intentions are with it all, do you?
Oh yeah, you don't really know. I think there's some people that like I know people that go on like other people's like TikTok lives and like it's people they don't know and like some people are like freaking really random on them. I've seen people that have like tried to cause a problem and I'm just like, why?
Oh no.
I got one person that like I don't really like. I honestly don't understand their like intentions in all on TikTok because they're charging people for literally taking a photo of them.
Oh no.
They're literally they're charging them and then they're like begging on their like TikTok lives for people to donate money to them and I'm like, nah, I'm not dating you nothing.
I know exactly. There's nothing worse than, is there? That's why I tend to have like. That's why I tend to stick to having people on the live streams like who I know.
Mm.
You know. It's like I've had Charlene on a couple of times. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But there is literally like somebody that walks around with a literal card reader and he's like and they're like, you want a photo, you gotta pay me for a photo. I'm like, I ain't paying you for a fucking photo. Oh no, this person honestly, I like their TikTok name is just like I'm just like they're like most people are going, are you a guy or are you a girl?
Like like
Because they've made it perfectly clear that they still have, like, you know, the genitals of a guy but go by a girl, and they're just like, well, why are you using a women's toilet then? That's a bit funny if you're not gonna get transitioned.
yeah, I know.
They're like, fair enough if you're a kid, like, you know, you can't until you're like 18. Like, one of my little cousins can't until like she's 18. Was it he? But I'm like, this guy is like literally like in their like they're like 19. They literally could. They've been donated enough money to transition, and they just don't.
I know, it's kind of like they have like second thoughts, kind
Oh
of.
no, like people have come for them for things that they've said because they lied about having autism. They lied about having Tourette's. Yeah, lied about having Tourette's. They've lied about a lot of things, and then people will call them out on it, and then they don't like it, and then their comeback is, "Oh, you're being transphobic." It's like, I'm not being transphobic. You're just a liar. Just admit it. Like, that's not me being transphobic, and then they're like, "You're being transphobic." I'm like, sure.
Oh, bloody hell.
I'm just like, no.
They
lied about being like essayed in a nightclub. I'm like, didn't happen though, did it?
No, exactly.
I'm like, you say this, but I'm like, there are people that don't come forward because they're too scared. And then this person comes out with a load of shit and lies, and I'm just like, And then they make TikToks on it, and I'm like, do I believe you? Nah.
Oh, I know. Because I mean, like, I get that the having the operations and that can be expensive.
They are expensive, but I'm like, this person's earned they've earned enough from TikTok that they literally could have had the surgery. And when they've made it perfectly clear that, you know, they use a women's toilet, but literally they are technically still a man. People have put in the comments of their videos, like, I wouldn't be comfortable for my daughter, my say 4-year-old daughter, to go into a toilet and next to her in a stall is a guy peeing. They're like, you're still technically a guy.
I know.
They're like, you may look like a girl, but they're like, technically, you've still got the genitals of a guy. Like, would I go in and use a fucking guy's toilet? No.
Exactly.
Like, people are like, it's a bit funny, and then they get like pissy about it, and I'm just like, well, what's your bad?
Yeah, exactly.
And like, some people do have their opinions about it, and I'm like, there are people that don't agree with certain things, but I'm like, that person hasn't made it good for themselves when they present themselves online with a lot of shit.
Oh, I know. It says there's 2 people watching us. I don't know who they are. I think one of them's Nicola, but I don't know who the other one is. Unless it's you. Have you got the live stream up on YouTube or anything?
No.
So there's somebody watching, but they're not talking.
Yeah, it's not worrying when people like watch but they don't say anything. It's kind of like, fair enough, you don't want to talk, but it's also a bit weird.
I know.
It's kind of like, it'd be nice to know who you are rather than random creep kind of sense.
Yeah, I know. Some people tend to just sit there and watch though, don't they?
Yeah, I felt like there are quite, like, I've done that with like TikTok lives. So sometimes I've not said anything in them, but I tend to try because I feel like it's a bit weird otherwise. If I'm just sat there and I don't say anything to a content creator, it's kind of like, okay.
Yeah, I'm a bit like that sometimes. Like, sometimes I'll sit there and I'll watch somebody's live, but I'll just chill out and watch.
Yeah, I think for like, there's some that I haven't, like the sort of like more YouTubers that have more like subscribers. I don't, because they're generally never going to see my comments.
Yeah, I know.
I've watched Markipliers and he has like freaking thousands of subscribers. He ain't ever going to see my fucking comments. I just don't bother.
I know. I'm the thing because like sometimes like when I'm watching Scare Theatre, like if he does a live show, sometimes I'll just sit there and I'll watch. Like sometimes he's responded to my questions and that,
Yeah.
but it's like sometimes I've got to make the comment long enough and big enough for him to see it.
Yeah, and I feel like for me, I just don't really want to do that. So I'm just like, normally if I watch Markiplier, he doesn't really go live very often. He's done a couple when like, because he disappeared for a while and people thought he died. Don't know why people generally thought he died. And he was like, I'm not dead. He's like, I've been to the like hospital because he was filming for his own film and he did something to his eye, so he had to go get checked out. But he's like, I'm
Mm.
fine. He's like, I'm fine. I just fucked up my eye.
Yeah, I know. Abby thought I was dead at one point, or she thought something had happened to me, because that time in February when I was ill, like because I was able to keep up with the schedule I had right up until that day I become ill, and because I didn't post anything for a couple of days, like I hadn't done any lives or whatever, she was getting a bit worried about me apparently.
Mm.
But then I said to her, I was like, look, I'm fine. And then I called her up to explain about what had happened.
Mm.
And she was just trying to deliberately have an argument with me, which made me think then, was she really concerned about me, or was she doing all that because she wanted to have a bloody argument?
Yeah.
You know? Because when I disappeared for a couple of months, like because I was hacked and that, she didn't bother to contact me then to see if I was okay.
Yeah.
You know? Like, I understand that if you don't do anything on YouTube for like a couple of months or years or whatever, a lot of people are probably going to think that you're dead.
I've seen a load of like like people have made like loads of like either like memes or just videos where they're like so and so YouTuber's dead, and I'm like, they're not dead. They're probably just busy or just haven't filmed a video for whatever reason.
Yeah, and that was the problem that Eric had. Scare Theatre. Because he was busy with college and now he wasn't posting for a while, and because he wasn't posting for a while, a lot of people had just thought that he died. You know, and he knew that because he'd done an interview with somebody who had covered his disappearance.
Yeah.
You know, because they were doing a bit of digging to try and find out what had happened to him. And when Eric eventually came back and he started doing videos again, he did do an interview with the guy that had done the small series on him, and he
Yeah.
said that he knew that people thought that he was dead,
Yeah.
and he said that his one regret was not saying anything.
Yeah, I feel like some YouTubers like they do kind of go off and they don't sort of announce like, oh, that they're maybe not doing videos for a while for whatever reason. Some just kind of up and leave, and people are like, oh, what happened to them?
Yeah, because like he did say that his one regret was not responding to people that were actually worried about him,
Yeah.
because he was getting emails and comments asking if he's still alive and that.
Yeah.
But the guy that was Distash, I think that's how you pronounce the name. But he was saying that even if Erica died, like somebody would have said something, like a family member would have said something, or
Yeah.
because he done Eric, he done a reaction to the guy's videos about his disappearance and he was pausing it and talking like in between and making like certain points
Yeah.
and he was like, because in the video Distashi was saying that in the small chance it is true that he's died, it could be that his family didn't want it to be public news, but at the same time, it wouldn't make much sense, seeing as they know how big his channel is, and they want his fans to know if he was dead or not. Do you get me?
Yeah, I felt like when you're kind of sort of you've put your life public online, then I kind of feel like, you know, you can't really privatize that at any point then and kind of be like, oh yeah, we don't want to share that then, because it's like, well, you've kind of put yourself out there.
Yeah.
Ask questions.
Because he did say that if anything did happen to him, that he would want his family and friends to say something. And he was like, if I ever disappear again, you'll know that I'm dead. You know, it'll be obvious. You
Yeah.
know?
It's kind of like, I've seen quite a lot of things, like there's one freaking drama that's happened at the moment with like a YouTube channel that everyone's like, oh, I didn't, like, how did no one know about this? Why did no one do anything? And I'm just like, it was blatantly obvious from every video that they ever posted.
Mm.
Because it was like a mother got arrested because basically one of her kids, he'd basically like escaped, jumped out of the window, went to a neighbor's house to ask for food and water.
Bloody hell.
He had basically like his ankles were taped. They were taped together or like chained together with something, but they could see that he was malnourished. That obviously his mum wasn't looking after him.
Mm.
And obviously all the siblings had basically were also tied up or attached together. She's basically in prison. She's trying to claim that the child who escaped and actually went to tell a neighbor that basically he's sexually assaulted his own siblings. And I'm like, if he really did that, then why would you put him in a room and lock the kids together?
Oh, I know.
Really make much sense. And I'm just like, there going, people are like, why did no one notice? And I'm like, they used to do like family vlogs, and she would literally say, like, until you've done your chores, I'm not giving you food, or you don't need food. One of her children forgot their packed lunch, and she basically said she wasn't going to take food to the school for her kid. They're just going to have to starve. I was like, your kid is like 4 or whatever. Like, I don't think they did that purposely, but okay. Like, it's a bit weird.
Yeah,
It's like I watched a weird documentary the other day about a flight that went missing. Yeah, it's a weird flight that went missing like years ago, and people kept getting like phone calls that were like cryptid messages of like where this last location of this like flight was.
Oh, bloody hell.
I was like there going, I was like, yeah, I think I could get creeped out if I got like a sort of like voicemail like that, because it was just cryptic. They were using like phonetic alphabet and stuff, but when people decoded it, it was like literally the last known location. I'm just like, don't know if they've ever found this flight since. Like, it's been gone for ages. I'm like, these people are dead somewhere. Who knows?
Oh, I know.
I don't know why I watch a load of like murder crime videos at the moment, and people go missing, drifting, and I'm just like, why?
Yeah.
It's kind of weird where some of them end up.
Because I mean, like, I know that if anything serious did happen to me, you know, I know that, you know, somebody would say something. Do you get me? Like,
Yeah.
somebody would put a video or something up on my account to basically say that I passed away or whatever.
Yeah.
You know?
I feel like it's the same sort of like if people have like social media, like even if they die, normally somebody else that they know generally has access to their Facebook.
Yeah, I like nobody have got access to my YouTube stuff though, but the thing is I'm always logged into it, so
Yeah.
even after I pass away, you know, somebody would have access to it, so I'd have to trust them to either keep it going or put a video out to basically say I'd passed away and then like log out of it or something.
Yeah, I know when my uncle died like last year, like his wife didn't write. She didn't put anything on his Facebook wall for like quite a while because like she basically told all of us not to write anything on social media for a while because she wanted to grieve and she didn't want it like sort of like broadcasted out on social media, which was fair enough.
Yeah.
I was like, it was her wishes, so I never did, and I was like to her, I don't really want to anyway because I was like to her, I didn't see the need to, and like she posted something on his wall like sort of before his funeral just so that like anyone that did know him, like she sort of was like it was an open invite, it wasn't just like, oh, only family can come.
Yeah.
She was like, if people wanted to, they could pay respect. I think the only worst thing that I kind of wish she didn't do was she did put the location of like obviously where the funeral was, which I kind of feel like she could have individually messaged people that rather than put it on social media because I feel like that's a bit too much information, and preferably if you have people on Facebook that you don't know.
Oh, I know.
Do you really want people to know where you're going to be on that day at that specific time? Because she put like the time that the funeral was going to be, and then they were having like a sort of meet up in the local pub that he liked to go to as well after, which she also put the address and what time they would be there. So I thought, well, if anyone wanted to rob your house, they would know when you're out.
Or they could randomly turn up at the funeral or
Yeah.
turn up at the wake.
Yeah, I was kind of like, yeah, like that's the only thing that I wish she didn't do was put the locations up and just individually message people. As annoying as that would have been, it would have been a lot better personal wise, which I feel like I've said to family members like if they die and they wanted me to put up a post, I would probably just individually message people because I'm not gonna put shit out, even though most of my family members have been like, what if your mum dies? I'm like, she wants to be cremated, so it's not really gonna be a funeral, is it?
Oh, I know.
She don't want to be buried. If I bury her, she'll haunt me.
Hmm.
I don't know. She watched a TV show where a guy was buried alive, so since then she's like, you will cremate me. It's like, well,
Well, yeah, but like that's only for TV though, isn't it? Like it's not real.
yeah, she's not convinced. She's convinced that she'll get buried alive. I was like to her, I was like, I'm sure they check before they bury people. I don't think they buried my grandpa alive. I'm sure they checked he was dead beforehand. They put him in a box.
Yeah, but I did watch right on YouTube. This was a while ago. This was like years ago. I watched a documentary about this girl who woke up in a morgue.
Oh, I think I've watched or heard something similar to that. Someone being in a morgue. I'd hate to wake up in a morgue. I feel like morgues don't seem like fun places to be, but preferably to wake up in is probably even more creepier. Hi.
I know, because basically, right, she'd been pronounced dead like 3 times, and she'd woken up in the morgue.
Mm. Yeah.
You know, and like she woke up with dead bodies all around her. Obviously,
Yeah, I feel like it's never a good thing to wake up with dead bodies around you.
obviously, like they've got cloths over them and that.
Yeah. It's kind of like you still know they're dead, though. You're just kind of like, hi.
I know, and there was and part of the documentary there was a guy in there sorting out like bodies or whatever, and he was like, "Can I?" And she was like, "Can I go back home, please?" And then he ran out of there.
Yeah, I think anyone that sees somebody that you think they're dead and then just someone's sat up right on a table and you're just like, you were dead like 10 minutes ago.
Oh no!
I think that's one thing my nan hated. Like she worked in a hospital, and most of the people that went to that hospital were like, it was kind of more for like their end of life. They were in there until they died, to be fair.
Oh,
And like they had a woman who was in there, like she got admitted like couple of days before Christmas, she knew she wasn't. She knew she didn't have long left. She had cancer, but it was her granddaughter's like first proper Christmas that she would remember.
Yeah.
And her granddaughter like sort of expected that she would be there for Christmas, and obviously all the hospital staff were like, "Oh, I bet she's like really excited," and like the lady's like, "I know I can't see her," kind of thing, and she was like, "I know I'm going to be dead," kind of thing, so I'm not going to get to see her and whatever, and she's not really going to know where I've gone.
Yeah.
She's older, and the lady asked one of the hospital staff like if she could sort of have a phone or like a tablet that she could like sort of talk to her on, because she was like, this will probably be the last time I'll get to speak to her. So the staff were like, oh, we're going to try and see if we can get you like a tablet that you can like video call her with. So they got a tablet for her, and she video called her on Christmas morning, because she was like, I'll do it on Christmas, because she's like, I don't want to do it like before then, because she was like, there's not really much point. I'll just do it Christmas Day because she'll be excited. I can kind of see her open her presents, kind of thing, because that's what they were gonna do.
Yeah.
And she got off the call with her granddaughter, and because her granddaughter was going, Nanny, when are you coming home? Like, you know, whatever. And she's like, they're going, oh, I don't know, darling. Like, you know, I should be home soon, kind of thing. But she knew that she's telling her granddaughter, like, I'm going to be home soon, but she never actually is. And my nan was there at the time, because like my nan sort of would sort of clean like in the rooms and sort of just replenish anything. And she'd obviously like spoken to this lady after the phone call, and obviously the lady's like, she's like, I know I'm gonna be dead soon, and she's like, I'm not sad about the fact that I'm dying. She's like, I'm more sad about the fact that I'm leaving my family and also her granddaughter behind. And I was like to my nan, I was like, that must be depressing, because I was like, you see quite a lot of people that go into that hospital, but they never, like, a lot of them would never actually come out of that hospital alive. Depressing. It's like sad, but it's life, I guess.
Yeah, it is pretty sad, isn't
it? Yeah, I was like to my nan, I was like, you know, it's not the best thing you ever really want to see, but I was like, you also don't want to have to go through it either. Which I felt like probably for my nan was a lot worse, because she lost her husband, and then she ended up going back to work, I think, quite soon after he died. And obviously a lot of people, because she went back to work in a hospital and he died in a hospital, people were like, are you fine to be here? Like, does it bring up any old wounds? And she's like, he died in a hospital. Like, there was nothing she could have done. I mean, the hospital, on the other hand, could have, but they didn't. So she was like, fun. And then she had to go through the process of taking the hospital he died in to court, which wasn't fun.
Oh, God.
Yeah, she took him to court, and she got quite a lot of money, because even the judge looked at the people that were representing the hospital, and they were like, well, you can see the medical records leading up to when he died, and they're like, well, you fucked up an operation. You're supposed to give him another one. Didn't, because they chose not to. And then, obviously, he ended up dying. So they were like, well, there was a lot you could have done that you chose not to. It's kind of your negligence, not my nan's, even though my grandpa's family blamed my nan. But they weirdly turned up at the funeral.
Yeah, that is weird, isn't it?
Yeah, they turned up at the funeral. The weirder thing was, it was kind of very divided at that funeral, because they were kind of on one side of the room away from all of us, and then we're all on the other side. I'm like there being like, I don't really know his family. I'd never seen his family. His brother was fine. His brother's now dead, because he died like a few years ago. My nan did go and pay her respects at his funeral, because she was like, well, he paid respect at my grandpa's, so it was only fair. She travelled all the way there literally just for the day, just to go to the funeral and travel home because she had work the next day. And I was like, fair enough, man. But it wasn't as if it was down the road. It was in Glasgow.
Oh.
Yeah, she travelled to Glasgow literally just for the day. And I'm like, going to the airport. The airport's like, where are you going? Obviously, my nan's got no clothes, no nothing for this trip. And they're like, bit weird that you're going to Glasgow for a couple of hours to come home. And she's like, yeah, we're going for a funeral. And I'm just like, they're like, sorry for your loss. And my nan's like, yeah, okay, it's fine. I think they just found it was weird that she was flying to Glasgow for a couple of hours to fly home
Yeah.
with literally no bags, no nothing. And I was like, well, we're not staying there. Because like family members tried to get her to stay because she was going to go and stay with like one of her like sisters, but she was like, yeah, nah, like I got work, I can't. And she was like, I don't want to either. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Just all my family members keep talking about when they die, what we have to do for their funerals, and I'm just like, okay, I'll remember this. My mum wants to be cremated for some reason.
Yeah, I don't know what I would want, but then I got plenty of time to decide that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know someone that wanted a Viking funeral, but they're illegal, so you can't have a Viking funeral.
Are they?
Yeah, apparently in the UK they're illegal.
Are they? But why do you want a Viking funeral anyway?
I don't know. Liam wanted a Viking funeral. He was like, I'm technically part Caribbean, so it's kind of my head. I was like, Vikings aren't really the same thing, but I was like, fair enough. And he's like, yeah, you can't. They're illegal. I was like,
Well, yeah, but like, surely though, like, if it's what the person wants, then surely you've just got to give the person what they want. You know, you got to honor the person's wishes.
I know, that's what you would think, but a lot of times if it's illegal, you can't. And I was like, well, there's water cremation now.
What the fuck is water cremation?
It's basically like a normal cremation, but instead of burning the body, you basically dissolve the body in water. I don't know if that's an easier way to go than burning it. I watched it and I was like, I'm like, I think I'd prefer normal way of cremation rather than water cremation. Because I'm like, you're literally submerging someone's body in water and then they just dissolve. And I'm just like, yeah, no. I feel like that's just death by drowning. I'm like, nah, I'll pass. But apparently now that's a thing. I was like, fun.
Yeah, not for me, thanks.
I was like, was the normal way of cremation not effective enough that we had to go with water cremation? I was like, I feel like either way you're still cremating someone. Like, which way is that an easier way to go? Like, drown, you're still drowning. It's like, yeah.
Yeah, I know.
It's worse because I don't know why I was randomly scrolling through things the other day, and then it's like on the news. It was like, oh yeah, like Glasgow have like announced the first like drug centre, and I was just like, why? I was like, you can go and like they let you take drugs, but they have medical like people watch you to see what happens. I was just like, I was like, so you're basically gonna let a guy take maybe say 20 pills of whatever the hell he could take and just watch him and see what happens. But you're not really meant to be promoting people to take drugs, but this is what you're doing.
Yeah, exactly.
I was like, I thought the whole point is to avoid people taking drugs and being a drug addict, but you're saying, come see us. You can take what you want and we just watch you. And intervene if need be, but I'm also like,
yeah.
Don't know if I really trust that. I'm just like, yeah. Don't really know why. Like, they were so excited about it though as well. Like, the news lady just seemed so excited by that, and I'm like, it's not something to be excited about, love. Why?
I know exactly. It's nothing to be excited about, is it?
I was like to her, I was like, yeah, you turn on the news and it's normally depressing. It was like the other day when the freaking 15-year-old girl got stabbed in London. I'm like, I feel for her family. But the media have also lied about why the fact she died. Which was more weirder.
Yeah, I know.
Because the media kept going, oh, the reason why she got stabbed was because she rejected flowers from a boy. I'm like, no, that wasn't what happened. I was like, technically the flowers weren't meant for her friend. She was protecting a friend who got stabbed.
Mm.
And like, even her family were like, that's not why she got stabbed. Like, can the media please stop saying that she got stabbed because she rejected this guy? They were like, she wasn't dating that guy. That was her friend dating him. He just randomly decided to stab her.
Oh.
I was just like, great.
Mm.
I was like, that happened at like 8 a.m. I was just like, great.
Bloody hell.
I was like 8 a.m. in the morning in London, Croydon. It's like, oh.
Right, Chelsea, I'm going to call her at night now, right? Because I'm going to think about getting into bed and that.
Yeah, that's fine.
Alright, so you going to come on tomorrow or?
Yeah, I'll probably be on.
Because I might do it again tomorrow, see, depending on how quiet the house is.
Yeah.
Obviously. But when I've got my soundboard set up, it'll be easier because apparently that's got noise cancellation on it anyway.
Yeah.
So I don't know how good the cancellation thing's going to be, but I won't know until I'm able to try it.
Yeah.
So yeah, hopefully I'll do my live show tomorrow.
Yeah.
Hopefully, fingers crossed. Yeah, I didn't really have much success with it tonight, did I? I mean, Nicola came in, but
I don't really know if she went. She came in. It is like she just disappeared.
yeah.
After a like sign of where is Nicola?
I know. I think Nicola might have given me the thumbs up as well.
I'll just do a little Lost poster that they do for like cats and stuff.
I'm here. My connection went.
I'm still making a Lost little poster for you though, Nicola.
Hey, babe.
It's like like what you do with cats, but I'm just gonna do you. I'm just gonna post it in a road of just have you seen this person? She's lost. Yay big.
Right.
Hi, yay big.
Charles, I will speak to you tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
All right. Night.
Bye.
Bye. I'll catch you all on the flip side.